Good morning. My name is Carrie with Blue City Pickin, and if you are new here, we head around to thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales to find things to flip for a profit on eBay. It is a Saturday, and my big plans for this morning was to go to yard sales and then come out to the bins. However, despite the sun you see in the background now, it has been pouring rain all morning, so I am just now getting started. It is about 9 o'clock. The bins open in 5 minutes, so let's go see what we can find. So the first thing I found when I walked into the bins this day was a grouping, I think, of 11 different Switch video game cases. I was hoping by the time I looked through them that maybe there was a game in one of them, but there was not. So I did go ahead and pick those up because they do sell, and I have them listed for $19.99 each. You'll see me putting a couple of plush into the cart. I ended up putting those back because when I looked them up, they just weren't really low sell-through. I do love putting up vintage plush, but those are a little bit dirty and a low sell-through, so I'll put those back. So you see me get my bag out here because I thought I found Lego Duplo. I thought it said Lego on it, and then as I started to put them in the bag, I noticed that they were not, in fact, Lego Duplo, so I ended up putting them all back. I did go ahead and, I think you'll see in just a second, pick up an extremely goofy movie for my oldest kiddo because she loves that stuff. You see me picking up a For Real Friend. Some of these can be worth some money. I Google-insed her and she was just not worth it, and I didn't want to deal with taking the batteries out and checking it. See me pick up a plush here. I did end up grabbing that. That was a Parisian plush. It's just bread and butter, but it was in really nice condition, and I wasn't going to have to wash it or stain treat it. You'll see me pick up, this is a JanSport fanny pack. It is vintage. I was hoping it was a mini backpack when I originally picked it up, but it was not. And when I comped it, it just does not do that great, so I ended up putting it back. See me pick up a bag right here of travel size bath products. That was Beekman 1801. That is a really nice brand, so if you see that, even the travel size sells pretty well on that. And I'm going to donate the rest to a local charity. This area was filled with some pretty cool old vintage wooden items. I did end up picking up that shelf, and you'll see it in the haul. You'll see me pick up a couple other little wooden items. I ended up putting most of them back because they were damaged in one way or another. Here you see me, I grabbed a tin and I was picking up a bunch of little smalls. I ended up going through these later and pulling some out and then keeping some others. There were a few other people shopping for smalls that particular day, so I did not find a whole lot, but I did find some. I picked up this little light-up seahorse guy. I ended up putting him back. I know I had comped them once upon a time in my reseller career, but they're just not worth that much. If you do find the glowworm, the vintage one with the glow stick in it, you can make some decent money. So when I'm done going through my initial run through of the bins, waiting for them to change out for the next one. I come over to this little corner of the store and start going through everything in my cart. I don't think that that's uncommon, but this is where I go. I pull out my bags, I put things in it that I plan on keeping, and then I put things back that are not worth anything. I don't think you guys will find this part of the video super interesting, but I did want to show my process of what happens when I'm done at the bins shopping. So let's go ahead and get into the haul. Hey there, you ready for the haul? I spent $41 and can't find the receipt, but right around $41. Got a lot of stuff, some for personal, most of it's for resale, but let's go ahead and get started. One of the first rotations so he is a Jemmy Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington. I looked him up while I was there to make sure he was worth it, and he does have a little bit of staining right here that I'll use a tie pin on, but he should be worth $20 to $25. Let's see, I just couldn't leave this. This was a puffy stocking. It was only 99 cents, so I don't know why it didn't sell. I would have, if this was in my store for 99 cents, I would have bought it, but hoping to get, 10, 12 off of that. This is a Flint. It's something called like Eat Your Feelings or something. And so or Eat Your Bad Thoughts or something. He looked to sell for bread and butter like anywhere between 8 and 10. Same for this guy. This is a Build-A-Bear alligator. He's in pretty decent condition. I don't even think I'm gonna have to like wash him. I might just have to sanitize him, and he has a little spot right there to use with a tie pin. But all in all, in pretty good shape. I usually don't pick up Build-A-Bear, but because he was a gator and kind of unique, and I looked him up and it seemed like these sold okay. Even if it's just bread and butter, I don't mind that. As far as some of the other like dolls and toys, I did pick up this Cabbage Patch. I was looking for her clothes. I could not find them. This is an older one. This is by Appalachian Artworks and Coleco. So this is a little bit older one. She is pretty cute. She wasn't very much, so I'm hoping to just get bread and butter out of her. But I bought it to pick on my picking partner because this one has brown eyes and brown curly hair. So she says she never looked like a Cabbage Patch doll. And I was like, are you sure? Because this one looks like you. Next up is another plush. This is Pete the Cat from Kohl's Cares. And I love Pete the Cat stuff. I think we have a couple of the books that my son isn't really reading anymore. And if that's the case, I might lot up the books in this plush and see if we can get a little bit more for it. Next little doll. This is an American Girl Bitty Baby. I could not tell, 2014. So she's a few years old. She's got a little bit of damage up here, but her eyes still closed and worked. The last Bitty Baby I had, I think I sold for about 15. So nice bread and butter pick up there. One or two more stuffed animals. This is a brand that I did not recognize. But it was made in France. That's the brand tag, and it says something about colors. It was pretty cute, unique, so I went ahead and picked him up, and hopefully, even if he's just bread and butter, that works for me. let's see what's next. Oh, I picked up some of these Zevo refill cartridges. They were brand new. I think one of them was missing one, but you know, we needed some of these anyway for our house for the summer, so that worked out nicely. Let's see. So yeah, I spent $41.51. It says I got 21 items, but there are multiples in some of these bags that they gave me. Picked up this Nerf gun for my son. He loves these things, and so when I can find them there and they're in good shape, I go ahead and I pick them up. So we will share that with him in just a little bit. Next thing is this really cool vintage shelf. I don't know if we will keep this for use in our house or not, but I just loved it. I thought it was awesome. So I snagged that. There was some other wood stuff with that shelf that I didn't buy that was cute, but it was just too damaged. Then I also picked up this frame. It is not in the best condition, but just figured somebody will want that. I don't know what it's worth, probably just bread and butter. Maybe 15 to 20 on that. Next up is this huge bag of travel size things. They charged me, I believe, for the entirety of the bag. The reason this bag caught my eye was because of these. If you don't know the brand, it is Beekman 1801. They're like a shampoo, lotion, conditioners, all the travel sizes, and there were multiples. I think there's more in here. Yeah, here's a Beekman dispense-free hair elixir, another shampoo, and then they also had the brand Pharmacopoeia, citrus body bar, and let's see, shampoo, body lotions, Nest. I've never heard of Nest. There's a bunch of the pharmacopoeias. But basically, like the Beekmans alone will pay for this particular bag, and then they also had some Crabtree and Evelyn. I don't even know if they make that anymore. So it was just a really nice bag of travel size stuff that I'm like, you know what? There's no way that some of this stuff isn't worth something. Here's some more Crabtree and Evelyn, more Crabtree and Evelyn. So I went ahead and just snagged the entirety of the bag. I did not look up everything, but it probably cost me 50 cents because of how they charge me at the bins, at our bins. Like, I wouldn't pick this up if they charged you by the pound, right? Or I would have gone through and just pulled out the ones that I knew they would sell. But let's see. I was trying to see what they put in here. It's almost impossible to tell. Like, I'm pretty sure that shelf was 50 cents. Yeah, it's really kind of hard to tell exactly, but it was probably $1 or so for all of this. And whatever we don't end up selling, I will donate. My mom supports a mission with elderly people in town through her church, and so I will hand all of the extras off to her to donate to the church. Let's see, next up, I tried to pull this off of the belt, but I will try again in a minute. But this was a really cool looking belt buckle, and so I was buying it for the belt buckle. It was probably $1. I think that's what they charge for accessories. So I'm gonna try to get that off of here one more time. But yeah, I thought that was cool. It's probably bread and butter, nothing fancy. And then one of the very first things I picked up when I walked in, I'm not sure if you saw it on camera or not, but there was a stack of Switch video game cases. This is the Nintendo Switch, Mario Tennis, Super Mario Party, Mario and Sonic, Paw Patrol, Pokemon, Lego Movie, Pokemon, Lego, Pokemon. These actually sell. So I was hoping there may be one with a game in it, but I was very doubtful, and there were none with games in it. So that's okay. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 of these. And because they were empty, I think they charged me like 10 cents each. So I paid about $1 for all of these. I will lock these up and sell them, you know, $20, $30. So don't sleep on empty cases, because resellers who find the game, who want to sell it complete, will be looking for cases, and it's worth it for them to spend a little bit of money to get some cases to get full price out of their particular item. So don't sleep on empty cases. Let's see. Next, a couple of things for the family. Media is 50 cents a piece there. So I picked up SpongeBob Deep Sea Sillies and an extremely Goofy movie. My oldest daughter is obsessed with Goofy and Goofy movies, so we picked both of those up. And then I also picked up this hardback book. I think they charged me $1, which is fine. It's Star Wars, Where's the Wookiee? This is for my son. It's like Where's Waldo, but then you got to find Chewbacca. So he was excited to see that already and get his hands on that. So we will get him that as soon as possible. Next up was on probably the third rotation. This was at the bottom of a bin. Everybody had already kind of pushed by it in the frenzy, but this is a leather, like a briefcase, document satchel. It is brown leather handle. The main problem with it is it does have a split here on this leather. I don't even know if that's fixable or not, but when I opened it up, the inside was very, very clean. It was just really in very nice condition. It had a little like wallet that went in it too that I thought was super cute. Like, I just thought that was really interesting. And then I looked at it and it says, I don't know that this means anything, but it says Gucci on it. Like, so if you look real close, it says Gucci. I do have a real Gucci that has a lock like this, so I don't know. Bags there are $3.99. I just thought it was really pretty. So if it is real, great. If it's not, I still think she's pretty, and I can sell her as a leather handbag that needs replacement. So $3.99, I'm content with that purchase. Next thing I picked up was this Enchanted Forest vintage game by Ravensburger. This is from 1982. Apparently the regular Goodwill was trying to sell this for $1.99. Gosh, which Goodwill is this at? Because I would have picked this up for $1.99. It's bananas. It looks complete. It's got all of the little figures and everything in it. So I looked it up, and it looked to be selling for right around $24 to $25. I will have to try to get some of the stickers off, so I'll just put my hairdryer on that. Get that off, but we will get that listed. Next up is one of my favorite things. It's a sealed puzzle. This is a White Mountain puzzle. Those tend to sell pretty well for me. I was trying to see like what they did the puzzles at. Don't know. It doesn't really say. Maybe like $1. I think she might charge me $1 each for the puzzle and the game. So that was super cute. These usually sell $15, $20, but they're very easy to ship and list, so can't beat that. I also got this little squishy guy for my son. I've seen these in the store. He's seen them in the store. He's been wanting to try one out, so I will be giving him this as well. And I found this adorable Manhattan Toy Company. It's like he looks like Max from The Little Mermaid. I'm not sure what kind of dog that is, but I just thought he was adorable. And then I also picked up Appa from Avatar. Let's see, this is the Nickelodeon Avatar. So very, very cute. Also picked up this bag of wooden blocks that were made in Poland, made of solid beech. Very cute. I didn't look them up there. They don't charge a whole lot. So I went ahead and picked that up. I thought it was super cute. And then I also found like a whole bag of Magnetiles. And if you're not familiar with Magnetiles, this is what they are. So these don't look like the actual Magnetile brand. They're Titan tiles. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Some of them look like they may be Magnetiles. I don't know, but I just kept finding them. So I had a bag already going with all of those in it. So I snagged those. I got a bunch of smalls. Well, at first I got a bunch of smalls, and then somebody showed up and started picking up smalls too. So it made it a little bit more difficult for me to find smalls. But in one of the rotations, I found these. This is a, let's see, read along book and tape. We've got Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree. You got Pocahontas. This one's bilingual, so that's fancy. We got Aladdin, and there were actually 2 of the Aladdin ones, so even easier to list. And then this one was interesting. It was The Grinch. It's a CD, book, and cassette. So that is in there sealed as well. I think each one of these will probably sell for $10 to $15. Nothing crazy, but I just have a hard time passing up new old stock, like sealed media. And this is from, I don't even think it says the year on it, but I mean, the last, it's old. These are really old. Let's see. This was $6.96 for the Pooh one, and then these were a special value at $3.99. You couldn't buy anything for $3.99 now. So I thought that those were fun. So I went ahead and picked those up. I will go over my smalls in just a minute, but I found this adorable little Baby Gap speckled sweater. I will throw it in my bin of clothes to take to Once Upon a Child in the fall. I found Terraforma. I don't know the brand. I'm going to look it up and see if it's worth selling. If not, we will probably just keep this. We can never have too many aprons in my house. And this one's amazing because it has pigs and bacon on it. I actually might give this to my cousin or my cousin's wife. They do barbecue competition. Shout out to Queuing with Uncle Woo. It's a channel here on YouTube, and I'll put a link in there where they go over barbecue stuff. So if you're curious on Memphis barbecue, check them out. Next up is this Bijou Michelle. I can't read that part, but this is a really cute size 14 dress. It's got some really pretty beading on it. I know this brand does not necessarily command a lot of money, but I thought with all of that gorgeous beading and being a size 14 and having kind of a cinch waist with a bow, it had a lot of factors going for it that I was like, I'll go ahead and pick that up and we'll see how it performs. Next up is a vintage sweater that I may end up keeping for myself. It is Vanguard. It's virgin acrylic. Normally I don't pick up acrylic, but this was vintage and it was in immaculate condition. Has this beautiful cable knit on down the front of both sides and these really pretty like mother of pearl type buttons. So yeah, I went ahead and picked that up. It says I spent $15.44 on all of the clothes that I'm showing you. Next item as far as clothing was this Banana Republic silk and cashmere sweater. So 75% silk, 25% cashmere. It is an extra small, but I just thought it was so cute. And even if I just get bread and butter out of it, it is adorable and it has a lot of things going for it that make it a little bit unique. Next up, I found a pair of, these are Land's End corduroys. They're in nice condition. They are the traditional fit, size 35, so not a smaller size. A really pretty like khaki cream color. Hoping to get, I looked those up, 25, 30 out of those. Another fun find for this trip that I don't think is going to sell for a lot of money, but I could not resist. This is a pair of apple bottom jeans. So it's got the apple there. It says apple bottom right there. It has the bedazzled butt cheek pockets. They are a size 16, which is a great size. It says sweet to the core on the zipper. I mean, they're in really nice condition. They are flare at the bottom. So they had a lot of factors going for them. The ones that don't have the actual like apple pockets, I don't think sell as well, but I'm hoping with all of these factors on it, I should be able to get to 25-ish off of those. I found this lovey. This is a little giraffe lovey. Kelly Toys. I found a new with tag bra. I've had some luck selling bras recently from the bins. So this is a push-up bra. Joe Boxer, size 36D. I don't think it will sell for very much, but should be easy to list if I get bread and butter on it. Happy days. And then the last thing in the clothing before we get into our smalls, this is a Eddie Bauer blazer. My dad has been looking for a new one. This is a 42 regular, which I believe will fit him. You see Eddie Bauer, and then it is a silk and wool blend. So this is a very, very nice blazer. There are a couple little spots on it that look discolored. I think it might just be a little bit of like dirt that I need to scrape off, but I mean, it doesn't have any holes. It's in really nice condition. I'm gonna let him check that out and see if he wants it, and if not, then I'll sell it. So no harm, no foul. That's the best part about reselling, is that if it doesn't work out, then you can just sell it. All right, a couple other things in home goods. I got a couple of like stained glass sun catcher type things. This is not stained glass. This is painted on glass, but it is a lighthouse. I have sold these before, bread and butter. And then this really cute stained glass horse pony. And then I think I've spoken a little bit about my affinity for Love Every. I seem to be finding it most days I go in. So I've got a couple more pieces. I had a puzzle that I was planning on listing that I think I'll probably just put these with and make a larger lot of those. I found a couple of little rattles. I have one that's this little cute bunny. And then this is Mary Meyer. I found that one other Mary Meyer thing, but it ended up being a little bit too damaged. And if you don't know Mary Meyer, that is a brand to know for little baby and kid stuff. So I picked that up. Found a couple more little people. A little farm guy. I have some farm animals listed. Maybe I'll pull that and put that with them. And then a baby. Let's see. I picked up Bob the Tomato. I don't know if I'll be able to sell him, but he was too cute to leave there by himself. And then I found 4 trolls from the movie Trolls. I would not have picked them up if it was just one of them, but it had multiples. You had Poppy, Branch, Guy Diamond, and I think this is Smidge or Midge. So I'm gonna go ahead and list those as just like a bread and butter. I have some other like Disney smalls that I'm starting to gather to make a lot out of. So, or Disney Princess smalls that I'm gonna do. So I'll start putting that with that. I found, I think this is King Louie from the Jungle Book. Found a couple of animals over here. We've got a polar bear, a cow, and a sheep. Dinosaur, dinosaur. Let's see, a raccoon. I have a feeling this one might be something, so I'm gonna look him up. He looked very nice, so Very, very cute. I found, I think this is from Gabby's Dollhouse on Disney. So a little figure. Let's see. This little backpack. I think that goes with the Gabby's Dollhouse. Let's see. This little guy, which I don't know who he is or what he is yet. And then I found these little guys in a bag of toys. They were more modern toys, but then these guys were in there. I don't know what they are. I just know that they're old. And I want to say they're Weebles, but it doesn't have any label on it at all. So I'm going to look them up and I will put up here what they are. But yeah, that was a fun little find on the dig. And then last but not least, I don't know who you are, what you are, where you came from, but I got a little army guy too. And at my bins, once I had a bag of like all these little toys that I had already picked up out of the bin, like they don't particularly care if you just put one or two more little small toys in there. They charge me for like the entire bag, like $2, $3. So that's what it would have come to anyway, because the small toys are like $0.25 a piece anyway. So yeah, that is my haul. I am hopeful that just a couple of these things are gonna pay me back and get me, get some more sales going. So if you're enjoying this kind of content, I would love it if you would hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know if you have ever been to the bins, and do you usually find this kind of array of stuff, or is your finds more limited? It's been a mixed bag for me, so I just don't know. It depends on the day. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.